Hey folks, Vince the Evil DM. I'm starting a new series here on my channel because after my last video and the wonderful responses, it's encouraged me to start doing some more videos again. Like I said, I needed to find my passion, or as they say in the wrestling business, my smile. So I like to do things that I really enjoy when I'm playing games. Right now, my group is currently playing Last Unicorn Games Star Trek, the original series, movie era thing going on there, which you can find at rollhigherdie.com. It's called US Reliant, or just Star Trek Reliant. But anyway, a game that I'm kind of prepping for and getting ready for is a Savage Worlds game, which I had mentioned in my previous video. I'm a player of Savage Worlds. I've been playing Savage Worlds for years. I first started back way back, probably I want to say mid 2000. I was kind of late to it, I guess. I don't know. The book was a really weird looking cover book. I never got to get that book, but it was it was run at a convention. First played it at Mepicon, which is Middle Eastern Pennsylvania Convention, I think it's called, but it's right up in Pennsylvania when I lived up there. Someone ran a Doc Savage adventure, and it was kind of interesting. I liked it. It had just some interesting rules. I didn't really grasp it at first, but then I had to grab the book and read it, play it a few more times, and then I got into a bunch of Deadland games. I think that was the original Deadlands before it was the actual conversion over to the one for Savage Worlds. So a little bit confusing there, but I did manage to play in a Savage Worlds game itself that someone made a custom Transformers game. And actually, the first book that I ever used was this one, Savage Worlds Explorer Edition. You see right here. Still have that book. Didn't really use it. Again, I was mostly a player. As the years went on, I did update to this book, the deluxe book. And I did do a whole video on this, but after doing a lot of thinking and looking around and talking to people, it might be a good idea to update to the Adventure Edition, or SWADE, as they call it. So I went ahead and grabbed the PDF and decided to start perusing that a little bit, because if I'm going to run a game, might as well use the newest edition of the rules that people are supporting. And so people will, if I have a question, people will be on the same page as me. Yeah, people play older editions of the games, but all the forums and everything are supporting these things. So I figured I would try something a little bit different in my life and just, update to the newest edition and see how it works for me. If I don't like it, I always can go back to deluxe. I know there's not many differences as I'm reading it between the two editions, but give you a quick overview of the book. This is what the new edition looks like now compared to the old edition. Brand new cover compared to this one right here, the deluxe edition. Looking at a much nicer cover. It's a hardback book, $40 compared to the $9.99 softback book. If this ever becomes a softback, which I'm pretty sure it will, I don't see why it wouldn't. But if it ever does, then probably be more advantageous to buy it, or whatever, for me to buy it, because I like buying books. I hate reading PDFs. It's a strain on my eyes sometimes, so I do it if I have to, and I like to search through books. But Savage Worlds, basically, to sum it up, is a very simple system where you take an attribute and a wild die, and you roll it for a trait test. And then sometimes you have skills and you do the same thing. But we'll get into those things, how the dice roll and how it works later on. I just kind of wanted to give you an overview, look at this book, and talk about things that I've played here. There's so many things. This basically, you can think of Savage Worlds as a generic rule set. Remember how like D20 Modern was, or how GURPS is, things like that. A generic rule set without a world attached to it that has possibilities. D6, for example, has D6. Well, they kind of broke it up later on, but Open D6, for example, just the rule set, or something that you just file everything off and you give the possibilities is to the GM, do whatever they want. Now you can play anything from a Western, which they have a setting for, or you can use what's in the book. You can play a modern day horror campaign. You can play World War II. They have so many settings for this. You don't have to make your own thing. But the good thing about it is, with this book, this book alone, you can sit here and make up whatever your heart desires. I mean, I've seen people do a Transformer game, which I played in, a Thundercats game, He-Man. These are not official supplements. These are fan things people made up. You can do it with this book and this rule set. There is so many different things that you can do with it that it's basically limited to your imagination in the book itself. You want to do Shadowrun, but you don't like the Shadowrun rules? Shadowrun. Cyberpunk? Boom. You want to play D&D? They have a whole fantasy companion that you can buy along with this book. There's a fantasy, sci-fi, and a horror and a superhero one that you can put along with this book, and you can make your own setting up, your own rules up, and add what you want from those companions to make your game work however you want. They have some generic races in here as well that you can use, and they even have a section in here that you can go over and create your own race if you want. Making races, boom. Don't like what's in there? Make up other races. This is not a class-based system. And I want to get that straight here to the point that there's no classes in this. Like D&D traditionally has, fighter, blah, blah, blah. This is basically you have an overview of your character and you kind of build it with skills and attributes and edges, which give you advantages, and hindrances, which give you disadvantages when rolling dice. But you also get points for role-playing out your hindrances. But we'll get into all these things as we get further along in the game. I just wanted to do a general overview and talk about, the book itself and give you kind of a look at the book. It's an excellent edition that I've overlooked for quite some time when playing. I forgot how much I really enjoyed what this game can do for your imagination. I like the fact that it's very fast, it's fluid. It does take a little bit of adjusting to get used to it. And like I said, it doesn't have a leveling system, but it does have an experience system that allows you to move your character up in experience from a novice to a hero to seasoned, to veteran, things like that. I know I probably said that out of order, and I apologize because I'm doing this off the cuff here, but there is a lot you can do with this game, and I just wanted to give you an overview, like I said, and I want you to follow me through this series as I'm going to be doing this as a GM for the very first time. Again, I've been a player for many, many, many years, so I know the system. I just never run a game for this system, and now it's about time. I'm going to be running East Texas University for my group. That's what they picked, so we're going to be running that. It's a fun game. There's some minor adjustments I need to do to that to fix it to get to the SWADE edition, but we should be okay with it. I think it's easy enough to teach someone to do this. I think after a few sessions, it should be just fine, and everyone should have a great time. And I'm hoping maybe it'll stick and people will want to continue playing with this, because I would really love in my group to just stick with one rule set and we can just do whatever we want, as opposed to jumping from game to game to game to game to game and having to relearn new things over and over and over again. And I know that's the whole point of getting groups together and playing, is to basically find your jam, find your love, and just keep playing games all over. Because that's what we did in the 80s. We just played like thousands of games. I mean, it was every day I used to play in the summer. Even after school, we would run to my friend's house and run to his basement, and we would play Turtles, D&D, Marvel superheroes, DC superheroes, Palladium Fantasy, whatever we had. Villains and Vigilantes we played in my friend's backyard. We used to play that. Twilight 2000 I played at my other friend's house after school. So many things we did. I mean, now it's time to maybe just find something that will suit us for the long run. And I think this has the sustainability for a long run to do multiple things for our group and enjoy it and be the group that does that, or the group that plays that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have some more videos coming out. We'll say keep an eye out for them on my channel here at youtube.com/theevildm. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, so you get and hit that little bell notification so when you get new videos, you'll know when they come out. Also, if you'd like to support me, you can go to patreon.com/rollhigherDie. That's where you can support our group of role players. As well as go to ko-fi.com/theevildm if you want to donate as little as $1. Every little bit helps. That helps pay for these books that I have to buy. I mean, why not, right? With that said, keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.